doing this. And these are people of actual positions representing the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? And where there's a dozen, there's going to be a dozen more. You know what I mean? And it's not a good look, bro. And it dives right into the fucking narrative. It dives right into the damn label that the right side gets generalized.
It's racist.
A group of Republicans just got exposed when their insanely racist group chat leaked.
The group chat members spoke freely about the love of Nazis. I love leaked messages exposed.
One of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people. One talked about sending political opponents to gas chambers to, quote, watch people burn now.
And in a normal world and normal political environment, you would expect leaders from their party to come out and make statements denouncing not only the words and slurs that were used, but the members of the party that were involved in this situation in the first place.
Very easily condemn when my side is going off the rails, but I just ask the bare minimum from Andrew. When they're talking about gas in group chats, can you condemn that?
Are we really going to do this again? No.
So you don't condemn it?
Your energy is
Quote,
so aggressive.
I love gas.
All right, hold on.
Can't condemn that.
Just easy, buddy. Okay.
But instead of that happening, the vice president of the United States came out in defense of the people involved in this racist scandal. He didn't denounce them or the words and slurs that they used. And the only person that he labeled a scumbag was the person that actually leaked the text, which is a hero to me.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't.
Bro, they're not kids, bro. They're adults. They're young adults, bro. They're not kids, bro. Like, are you serious? So we treating them like kids? Nah, bro. Yeah, I got that message on my you guys should check it out, the Newsbreak app. All the bad news you want. When this first came out, I thought it was fake. I was like, man, I don't really believe they really did this. And then I'm like, damn, it just goes to show you, bro, like their party's true colors. And the fact that nobody from their side is really saying anything is crazy, bro.
Focus on what kids say
and deflect.
Yes.
in group chats. But I mean, I'm like an old guy at this point. I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm. But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what
if they wasn't talking ish in the group chat, they would be straight. So no, the person who exposed y'all had a reason, because they knew y'all was talking crazy. Like, it's not about the fact that, if you know in your heart you're not saying nothing crazy, like in that case, it should be more personal message. It should be like one-on-one with those individuals. Shouldn't be in no group chat, especially knowing that they're in like a very, prestigious positions in what they work.
Yeah, political positions.
You know what I'm saying? People look to them, to these politicians and these campaigns for directions of the country, and you can't be out here doing stuff like that. No, we're not. I'm not gonna go easy on them like that. No, because guess what? When one of the athletes do something bad, what they quick to do?
They plaster it all over. They keep repeating the same story, ask you the same questions every day.
Exactly. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that.
what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives.
Well,
cancel culture. Sorry. That's that. Hey, that's the generation we live in, bro. Get over it.
I think it's important to note that his definition of kids might be different than anyone else's. These were not college kids. These were people who were in the GOP operative class. One of them is a state legislator. The others were, running for elected party office and staffing, elected officials. So I don't think we should qualify them as kids.
But Stevie Knight, to his credit, did actually make a video about this situation. And it went about how you would expect it to go.
The ops are going to swarm to this like flies on shit and say, hey, told y'all motherfuckers, y'all racist ass bastards. Nah, dog. Hey, everybody that was part of that group removed. Before that, offer some type of incentive to expose other fools that are out here doing this shit.
There is no question or doubt that racism is alive and growing in the Republican Party, which makes these black conservatives like Stephen A. Smith, Stevie Knight, the Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, and Anton Daniels, they use their platform to prop up conservative propaganda while tearing down Democrats in the black community look ridiculous.
When you think about Rosa Parks and what she did, and everybody thinks she's so heroic, do you know Rosa Parks had a car?
And it's one of the reasons why we need to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And I don't want to be around someone who thinks the color of their skin is some kind of defining characteristic, and the most important thing about the
such thing as racism is an illusion. It's a lie that's been made up by the race hustler.
Because you can't glorify and praise a party that is outwardly racist against you and your people and not acknowledge or speak out against it without being
coon, bootlicker, coconut, Uncle Tom, sellout.
Now, Stevie has been catching hell for the past month. From his debate with Abba, where he came across uneducated and inarticulate on topics.
Sometimes someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point. They always say I was taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe.
And then I made a video because I stumbled on his Sinners review, which just showed how deep in the sunken place he actually was.
Sinners was ass. I don't get it, bro. You would represent the black woman in that regard, this big fat black girl, but then have the white girl, the pretty white girl, the pretty motherfucker, and she's the reason why everybody got fucked up.
But Stevie, who has always framed things from a conservative perspective, just further exposed how lost he and other black conservatives like him are. This is a party that is currently doing everything they can to set the black community back. The Supreme Court right now, majority conservatives are voting to nullify the Civil Rights Act, which will annihilate black political power in the South and make it almost impossible for Democrats to ever win back the House or the presidency. But this is the part.
And the funny part about what he just said, if anybody remembers when Trump had won the election or whatever, he said, "You guys will never have to worry about another election." Those were some haunting words, bro. That he didn't say that for no reason. He said that because he knew what like the future. Like, a lot of people don't recognize that he's gonna basically gatekeep the baton to a certain side. So one party will be in power for a long time. But the way he said that,
it just depend on their candidate. I mean, they can bring another Republican candidate. He may not be all that, and it might just end up going Democrat. You never know.
Well, it's the way he said it, though. He said it with a lot of confidence. That means he knows, okay,
I mean,
we're going to lock it down. I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, it's just his words, but still, if he's saying something like that, that means something. It's not just he ain't say it for no reason.
Party that these black conservatives are defending.
Actually gets worse. JM says, can we fix the showers? Gas don't fit the blank aesthetic.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Some Telegram messages got hacked from some leaders of young Republican groups around the nation. I love leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist rants.
Just to be clear, the young Republicans are not some kids, as Vance tried to say. These are full-grown, employed adults in their 30s doing this.
Just kids being kids? Let's take a look. Alex Dwyer is 29. Samuel Douglas is 27. Peter Junta, 31. William Hendricks, 24. Is it just me, or do white supremacists age like bananas? Joe Maligno is 35, and Luke Mossaman is 24. Now, this young man has some choice slurs for Mexicans, and I really think you might want to get a 23andMe, because como se dice, you don't look white. Being a racist or being a bigot is not a mistake. Those are active choices.
Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. You're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jews to be honest. Great, I love Hitler. I'm ready to watch people burn now. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play ball. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we'd be cooked for real.
Oh my God. The worst nightmare appeared, right?
And then it got leaked.
New fallout tonight from a racist and violent group chat involving leaders of some young Republican groups, as reported by Politico. The outlet obtaining more than 7 months worth of Telegram messages in which they say members muse about using gas against political opponents. I'm ready to watch people burn now, one person responds. Another describing as epic. The chat includes anti-Semitic comments and racial slurs against Black, Latino, Asian people, and other epithets used more than 250 times, according to Politico. The outlet says one person, after being told backers would support the most right-wing candidate for a leadership role, responded, "Great, I love him."
This is actually what conservatives think about immigrants, anybody of color, useful idiot black conservatives like Stevie Knight, Anton Daniels, and all the rest of them that have these platforms where they tear down the black community but give a blind eye to all the racism that happens every day on the right. Because make no mistake, a Trump flag, a MAGA hat, is the new Confederate flag. It is not a stretch to say that this type of racism and behavior goes all the way back to Confederates not being punished. Instead, they were rewarded and memorialized with statues, streets, schools, and bridges named after them.
None of this would be happening if they had just punished the Confederate Army like they were supposed to. I don't think we would have had the Klan. I don't think we would have had Jim Crow. I don't think we would have had as much institutional racism. If it was really about freeing the slaves, then they would have cleared out the infrastructure that allowed it to exist for so long. They would have outlawed the Confederate flag. The only mention of the Confederacy would have been in history books to let people know this is what happens.
Agree on that. If the Union, did what they were supposed to do when they won, they should have just put all of them dudes in jail. Either they stayed in prison or they hanged them for for treason for what they did. And it would have just the North would have just took over the South and did Reconstruction around that area. Not saying wouldn't be racist free. I ain't saying all that now, but the condition how it was back then, it probably would have been
less.
Probably, there's a possibility it could have been a lot less worse.
You betray your country. It's like removing cancer. If you're going to try to get rid of cancer, you have to get rid of every single cell. Otherwise, it's going to spread again.
So it's no wonder that people racist as the Young Republicans or Proud Boys group or any other alt-right group that you can think of not only feel protected, but feel emboldened. And make no mistake, it is the same spirit of the Confederacy that carries on today.
They love the watermelon people. Stay in the closet, FAGGOT. They refer to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and they muse about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about their enemies and driving them to self-deletion, and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery.
Lauding Republicans who support slavery in 2025 is still the craziest thing to me. When I say these people are obsessed with people of color being subservient to them, that is all they want, to place themselves at the top of the food chain with everybody else struggling beneath them. So again, how can black people be okay supporting a party like this? And I already know Stevie is just going to try to say that it's these few people and not the party as a whole. But you see very clear in the text messages, lauded Republicans who they believe support slavery. So they're not just talking about the people in their group chat. And based on the current policies, executive orders, and Project 2025, you can see their intentions for people of color.
Yeah, this is the individual in question.
There's another thing I want to point out. I know, obviously, Republicans get like a bad rap. how they're more upfront how they feel about certain minorities and other things like that. But like, one party is better than the other too, because Republicans be upfront, but Democrats are just passive. To me, they're just more passive aggressive about it, and they're more of you kind of uneducated, you don't know, and it's like you almost like you need us to help you in your existence type of vibe,
right?
And I want to say there's nothing wrong being conservative. I don't want people to get that misconstrued of you just like you a black guy, you're conservative. And you have certain values that you grew up on. I don't want people to assume that, oh, you must be Republican. You probably stray to that route because obviously Democrats are not really on the foundation that you was born with and that you followed. You might have some ideologies you might agree with on the Democrat side, but they're not all the way full in about their legislation and other foundations of that nature. But like I said, I don't want to get too wrapped up into the whole left and right thing, because both of them don't respect y'all anyway. The minorities, the blacks, whoever you want to call them, because all of them have their own separate agendas. And a lot of these people, these Democrats and Republicans, they're friends too in real life. It's just the damn like shit show over there.
This
It's like,
this is just the game for them.
yeah, it's like when the government, all these
like-
government shutdowns, these dudes are still getting paid in Congress. All these politicians that is the people who are the people in the military and have other government jobs like TSA and others. They have to wait and get their check. Like it's like, oh, it's got to be a scare. Oh, they got the government shutdown. It's like we won't be able to get our paycheck, and we still have to come to work. Like nothing ain't happening. You got to think in the back of your head, you know, when I'm going to get paid, or I have to like put this part time and try to find a full time job. Like these folks here is like they always have some type of cushion because they already made it. They already made it to the point where they don't really care. It's like they get all their assistance from lobbyists, all the backdoor deals, make laws, keep delaying about what they're going to do, what they can and can't do, and it's just, you know, like I said, just a game to them. So that's why I don't get too harped on or put all my feelings towards these politicians and the left and right because a lot of them are full of shit anyway. But you know, outside forces, the people that you meet or family, they get so wrapped up to it, to have all this, you get so bent out of shape when you don't agree with them or you have this certain belief. Is like
It comes to the point where some people won't even associate with you based on what your party like once they know what party you are, they don't even associate with you. And that can be family too. And I find that to be very like foolish to think like these two parties that don't really support either one of y'all over here dividing amongst each other, fulfilling the objective of conquer and divide. Because that's basically what they're doing. It's kind of like you may have grew up. See, a lot of people, like, I'm just harping on what, like, a little bit extra on what you said. You know, I grew up conservative, but then I also have intrinsic, somewhat liberal values. I do like my freedom a little bit more, so I wouldn't be the super conservative that these guys are. But I just don't like how these terms are coin tossed and it's made, and it's like makes you out to be a bad person. It's just, that's just what it is. You just grew up that way. You grew up with conservative like values, but that's not because of the Red Party. That's because that's just like the status quo on how to raise a proper family.
Yeah.
And especially in a Christian ruled society, which is, you know, in America, you know, it's a heavily a Christian country, so it's based on those values. So you can't say that just because they have those values that automatically makes them red. This is why I always say I don't go red or blue, because I already know there's BS on both sides. And this is a big reason why I've never voted. You voted?
not for no president.
Crazy.
I just let them get bent out of shape who's going to be president.
I want to play that Outkast verse. He said, "Why should I vote? They're all crackers." I was rolling when he said that. But it's the truth though. It's just like these parties don't represent us in our groups, so I just don't see the point in getting just so invested in it. I don't get it,
especially as black people, because y'all fight tooth and nail. Not saying it's not wrong what you guys are doing. I don't want to be like trying to discourage what people are trying to fight for something that's right. But they're quick to do it for other groups. And when you guys ask for something, it's like they delay, keep saying they'll do it, they don't do it. It's like a whole damn process all over again. It's like, you know, I know there's smart people out there that you probably figure something out, but everything has to go through legislation somehow if it's going to be on a national level. And it's just unfortunate that like you got to keep doing the same thing over and over until something changes. It's just, you know, it's just unfortunate it has to be that type of way. So,
right.
Question here. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the N-word, I think more than a few times. Variations of a racial slur more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to as epic. And Peter Gyunta, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in the message sent in June that everyone that votes no was going to the gas chamber.
Using the gas chambers and Holocaust as jokes is just as bad as them joking about slavery. We're talking about millions of people that were murdered, and they're making a joke of it. But it's not even a joke, because that's really what they think.
The GOP's 15,000 member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued.
Just to highlight that, a person like him was in the running to be a chair of an organization with 15,000 members. So he would carry that resentment, hatred, and racism toward everybody that was not a white conservative with him. And any changes or policies these people will make when they progress through the Republican Party will only benefit white conservatives and hurt everyone else.
Everyone that votes no was going to the gas chamber. When do we start bullying, dude? We have a solid 3 people who can probably have them want to jump.
They're out here texting about gas chambers, wanting to see people burn and jumping people, but the black community is violent, right?
I'm ready to watch people burn now. We gotta pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower, relax, boom.
I really want to see how he spends this, how he's going to try to call these few people wrong, but say it's not the party as a whole, when the party as a whole has refused to denounce any of these people.
The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is.
That's the biggest red flag of them all. Like, you got these people in your campaign talking like this, yeah, and the leaders should be coming out real quick, being like, yeah, we fired all of them. We sorry, y'all. This should be public shaming for these guys. Like, what? Like, I'm telling you, bro, if this was on the blue side, bro, they would not let them live it down, bro. That's why I find it funny. Like, they always try to act like this uppity class. We are like upper class, and we don't engage in this type of behavior. But then look at this. And you see that a lot in the South, which, by the way, we are in the South. So we see this face front. We see this directly in our face all the time. So it's just crazy that they're not saying the fact that that's true, that their leaders are not coming out, like, you know, getting on their knees apologizing. That's crazy, bro. That's insane.
Listening. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another's job offer was rescinded.
Yeah, but we know what happens when white people get exposed for racism. Whenever somebody white gets punished for racism, they get rewarded from the right. This goes all the way back to George Zimmerman being sent hundreds of thousands of dollars and going on a speaking tour, signing Skittles bags. Yes, that actually happened. Anytime any of these people get exposed for racism, you can guarantee they will have a GoFundMe blowing up with hundreds of thousands of dollars being donated to them.
The 2,900 pages of chats shared among a dozen Millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator.
Again, these weren't kids at all. These were professionals working their way up the ranks of the Republican Party, carrying these racist sentiments with them. And even in another text, they even said how they had Donald Trump's endorsement.
Glad it's only a dozen of these idiots.
I knew that was coming. It is not only a dozen of them. It's a dozen of them that were caught texting like this. You cannot compartmentalize this type of racism. It is party-wide, and there are policies and actions right now that's happening to back that up.
At 15,000, I'm like, we don't need this shit, bro. We don't need this, dog, because it just adds more fuel to the fire, man. And ain't nobody going to sit here and try to go through the weeds, especially the left side. They not even going to check and see, you know, what's valid, what it is, what it ain't, or what not. All they see is Republicans saying this, and this. And the actions of these few is going to label the entire group.
This man hasn't said,
wow. You know what's funny about that?
the humanity.
The funny thing about what he said, ain't that what they do with us? ain't that crazy? Ain't that what they do with us? One bad person of us do something. Oh, y'all all like that. Yeah. It's good. They're gonna get a taste of their own medicine. That's all it means.
One word about the text messages yet, or the people that sent them. It's kind of like Vance. Vance didn't say anything about the text messages. Vance went on a whole rant saying that he would teach his kids not to send that type of stuff through text, and kids shouldn't be punished for dark jokes. Again, these weren't kids, and that type of attitude and support lets you know this is a party-wide problem. This is not just 12, 15 people in a group chat. This is people that work in the party that are surrounded by people that think like them. But Stevie is going to try to find a way around all of that.
This is not what the we need, dog. If this is fucking true, but it's looking like it is.
Stevie is going to try to claim it's AI. Politico has 15,000 text messages that were leaked to them. This is not like, this is not Photoshop.
Credibility doesn't matter. It's about how headlines are going to make you feel. And we do not need this, bro, but it's here now. And ain't shit we can do besides everyone come together and isolate these fucking idiots and hold them accountable, bro. Because these motherfuckers are the reason why people get labeled certain things, get labeled racist, get labeled Nazis.
It's not just these people. You can go back to Charlie Kirk's memorial and Stephen Miller using actual Nazi speeches.
You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing.
And Charlie Kirk's messaging as a whole, which was overall racist and anti-black, since that's their new figurehead, it's not just this group of 30-year-olds that are racist or have shown racist tendencies. ICE is literally tweeting about ethnic cleansing, using white nationalist words like re-immigration, which is basically an inherently racist call to action. Black history is being erased and Confederate symbols are being restored. You cannot act like racism doesn't exist with the Republicans.
Because you got people out here literally doing this. And these are people of actual positions representing the Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? And where there's a dozen, there's going to be a dozen more. You know what I mean? And it's not a good look, bro. And it dives right into the fucking narrative. It dives right into the damn label that the right side gets generalized. We need to cut these cancers out, get them the fuck out of here.
That's a nice sentiment. How do you do that when the vice president is defending them? Is he just finding out that racism is a real thing, especially in the Republican Party, when the current president that he's defending refused to even acknowledge that the first black president was even a U.S. citizen?
The ops are going to swarm to this like flies on shit and say, hey, told y'all motherfuckers, y'all racist ass bastards. Nah, that's not conservative. That's some racist ass. We need to address these motherfuckers as racist as.
That is 100% Republican. That is 100% the right.
And that's it. That is very surprising to see, you know, actual representatives, people that represent the government in some type of professional capacity talking like that, bro. Like, it's only certain motherfuckers that talk like that. I mean, like trolls and idiots talk like that, bro. But you literally got troll-like idiot individuals in leadership roles, dog. That's crazy.
Does this man not know his own party and the leadership of his own party? Or the people that supported an entire insurrection because they lost an election?
Bro, but I got to keep 100 and just think about other people in high positions that may share the same perspective as them.
What's that one governor in Florida? The one who took out, he was trying to take out African American studies in the school system. He was trying to take it out. Education system or whatever.
I know who you're talking about.
And he's a Republican. I'm sorry, bro. They have so much receipts against them, bro. It's hard to that's a hard claim not to make that they aren't. I've always knew that. I always knew they were very biased against minorities. I feel like that's something everybody knows. Like the fact that he's acting like it's not, I'm like, yeah, that's a little crazy, dog. Like they're known for this, bro.
Which it's gonna be the minority, but it's just
he was so close to actually almost making a good point. Because yes, racism like this does not exist without being supported at a higher level. Because if that was the case, these people would have been weeded out. The fact is they have relationships with higher ups and promising careers in the Republican Party. And I honestly think they still do. I don't think a bunch of racists are gonna fire somebody else for being racist.
And not only that, those are the only people who got caught. Think about the people who think like them and didn't get caught. And also to recruit these people in your party, just like a job interview, right?
You gotta vet them.
Exactly. You're not gonna bring on just anybody. You're gonna bring on people who's like-minded, like you. That everybody when you're trying to recruit into a group, you don't want somebody that's gonna expose the group or think. You want somebody who's like-minded. And the fact that there's so many of them, that it's like, nah, bro, you can't trust the leaders either. That means the leaders the bishops in disguise, you know what I'm saying? Nah.
They'll probably let time pass and work their way back through the party.
This ain't all of them, dog. And these seem to be people of influence and shit that's gonna mold other motherfuckers' minds, having them think the same fucking ways, perpetuating this fucking problem, dog. And shit we do not need, bro. Shit we do not need, man. Like, you gotta be a weird motherfucker to be talking like that, though.
Stevie is going through all the stages of grief right now. He already was like, if these text messages are even real. Then he said it was just this small group of people. He's clearly mad that this is happening. Depressed that he even has to talk about his own party and he can't demonize black people or Democrats. And now he's just accepted the fact that he's a member of a racist party that does not like black people.
Your average Samaritan don't be out here just having casual conversation talking like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think average normal people do. I also don't think most conservatives are average or normal people. I'm not saying everybody on the conservative side is racist or crazy, but if you support racist and destructive policies that hurt everybody except the people at the top, then yeah, you're a part of the problem, whether you say racist things or not.
Don't even make no sense, bro. Like how you that demented? Like, position aside, as you as an individual, how you that demented, bro? Like, I'd expect to see motherfuckers trolling, doing some shit like that, whose lives are fucked up.
It's easy to be demented and say things like that when you don't think of other people as human beings. That's how the Nazis reasoned with everything that they were doing, that they didn't see Jews as human beings. That's how slave owners justified everything that they were doing, that slaves weren't human beings.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got shit else to do besides saying the most worst sadistic shit on comments and trolling motherfuckers, bro. But these motherfuckers actually hold positions. Regardless of how they were sourced, motherfucker, they say what they say. So these messages is real. These messages is real, dog.
There goes Stevie's AI excuse.
At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel with the U.S. Small Business Administration.
When we say racism is systematic, this is what we mean. People that hate and resent people of color are in positions of power like that. When the Small Business Administration can dictate what resources go where, and if someone racist has a hand at an office like the Small Business Administration, do you think they're going to assist black business owners in starting and growing their own company and finding investment capital for them? No, all of those resources are going to go to white people and white communities that does not benefit black people at all.
So this whole thread is legit. That's insane. That's insane. And these people make decisions. They're leaders. They're looked up to. That's how you fucking see the world.
I really think bro is just discovering racism. What did you think was going on, Stevie?
And you're representing the whole fucking side. People look at y'all and refer to y'all as the epitome of this political side. And y'all are out here making motherfuckers look like demons in the flesh. Like, if they looking like that, then everybody else must be that way. That ain't what the fuck it is. It's just, I can't even hold you, bro. It's hard for me to come to terms with actual people of position being in a motherfucking chat like that, participating like that, not saying nothing to nobody. And it's one thing to stay in that fucking chat too. You can remove yourself from a fucking chat, right? If you don't want to fucking whistle blow, you don't want to be included. 251 times mixed into formal conversations about wiping votes, social media strategy, and logistics, the members of the chat slung around an array of slurs, which Politico is republishing to show how they spoke.
An array of slurs is crazy.
This is diabolical, bro. Hey, everybody that was part of that group, removed. Get them the fuck out of here, bro.
They make these 12, 15 people that got caught up go away. They can sweep this under the rug without racism actually being addressed, corrected, or rooted out.
Right, because you can't do nothing about a motherfucker's mindset or perspective if they ain't acting on it, man. That's the scary part. Like, how many more motherfuckers is out here thinking this way?
The people that make the laws and write and enforce policies are thinking that way. Hence, systematic racism, and it's been that way.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, bro. It's like, I'm thinking about like how it was when I was working at the Border Patrol, you know, being part of a damn group chat with, you know, my coworkers that are out here calling undocumented aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's off duty or on duty, bro, like, especially with people of positions, like high positions, agents at the top of the motherfucking food chain, top of the hierarchy and shit, bro, like, that's unheard of, bro. It's unheard of. But you got these fools out here that got caught red-handed. That's not right-wing. That's not Republican, bro.
That is 100% right-wing conservative Republicans. And he's just in denial about it. This country is finally waking up and seeing what's happening and seeing what's at stake. That's why you have millions of people out today at the No Kings protests all across the country. That's why you have people like Gavin Newsom speaking up about what the Supreme Court is doing. And that's why we all have to pay attention from this moment forward. Use our platforms, use our voices, and speak out. And definitely call out clowns like Stevie and all these other black conservatives that are useful idiots and bulletproof shields for conservatives to hide racism. Because again, these black conservatives will use their platform to call out anybody black or anybody from the left while trying to destroy any unity in the black community. But they will not call out anybody from their own party. They will not talk about white people. They will not talk about Republicans. It's going to get harder and harder for people to act like they don't know what's going on. And this is a clear example of that. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I can
like Democrat stuff when it comes to like Democrats and Republicans. Like I don't put all my energy in it. Yes, I mean, the older I've gotten, is just the less I've been putting much emphasis on it. Not saying like it's something. If somebody brings up something up, I wouldn't really. I probably heard of it, but I haven't really done my due diligence to read more about it. Which technically I should, but I don't put all my energy towards it because I got other issues and things I gotta worry about. But yeah, this whole racist thing, like Republicans, I mean, these guys have always been known to be upfront with it. Like they're just more upfront about how they feel. Like I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, this is the type of people you want because they tell you how they feel up. They tell out their races and how they feel about you up front. Anyway,
That way you can work around it.
yeah, that way you could probably maneuver. You can have an idea how to way to maneuver, and you don't have any type of hurt feelings by it because I already know what you are, so I can just steamroll you if you trying to mess with me, But as for the Democrats, like I said, the more passive, the more feel like they know more things better than you. They feel like they're your teachers, and it's like you too weak to be on your own. And it's like not saying they don't have the same thoughts. They might have their own group chat saying the same shit that these Republicans are saying, but they just haven't been leaked yet. Especially like I said prior before that
You don't vote for me, you're not black.
that these Democrats and Republicans they're friends with each other in real life. So those Democrats had similar backgrounds with those Republicans. They probably grew up in the same country, same state. Had the same family values back in their own generation. How it was back in their days. So I don't put too much, like I said, put much emphasis on the parties because a lot of these politicians, like they're in higher positions. They're already blessed in the position they're in. They get a lot of benefits. Like to me, as a politician, like you got a whole bunch of benefits. Like especially Nancy Pelosi, she's a Democrat, but she always knows like what's on the stock market. People always like saying how she know when to sell and when to buy stock because she was obviously in cahoots with. She had some type of insiders to know these type of things. And then, but she goes here and deny it to you and act like she don't know, but really she know what she's doing and other kickback she's getting in the house. But, it's just like I said, I think people want to feel some type of control with the people who they vote for, and have this certain idealism how it's supposed to be, but. If you can just see through the smoke screen, is all of them on the same side on the same coin, different sides on the same coin.
Now, with the people he brought up, shout out to the content creator. I want to, I appreciate the work he put in this video. He did enlighten a lot of things. So I want to say shout out to Drew Almighty. I'm pretty sure, the ones coming over, whoever sees this, probably already watched him already, whatever. So it's cool. Now the people he brought up: Stevie Knight, Anton, the Hodge twins, all these other guys. Right now, they've been getting a lot of flack lately. I know we're kind of on the late end of it, but we're kind of just summarizing all together in a way. Now, I watched, and the thing is, I've watched these guys. Everybody he's named, I've watched these guys. But see, I always take what's important on whatever that message is that I was looking for. I take what they say with a grain of salt. I never looked at these guys and thought, I'm going to align with them just because of their party. I see the benefit on some of the things they say. And I feel like as a normal citizen who may not be a content creator, who may not have a platform, you should always take what these people say with a grain of salt. A lot of these parties or what people vote for is how they feel about their motives and the laws they're going to create and what aligns with their situation. So if you're somebody who's well off, you're probably going to ally with red just because you don't want to get taxed more just because you make more. Then you got on the blue side, for whatever reason, they may want to give more opportunities.
More government assistance.
You know what I'm saying? To the my so-called minority or lower class, right? Understanding economics and how these government, I guess you could say, fit into that system. And these parties are just a representation of that. So, long story short, some people may not like that because they feel like, oh, you're not choosing either side. So you're basically in the middle, which is the independents, right? The independent or something like that.
I don't ever necessarily say that. Like they have some type of
I've seen them.
party.
I've seen
I
them
mean,
on the
hey,
ballots and stuff. They just be
I think
independent or
it's
whatever.
just call yourself independent.
Long story short, really do your research when it comes to these, because there's the city level and then there's the state level when it comes to these politics. So if you feel like your city benefits off what the Blues doing, go for that. If you feel like the city benefits off what the Reds doing, you go off that. This part with these leaked messages from these higher ups, so-called higher ups, I'm glad they're getting the scrutiny that they deserve, because the fact that, like he said, that the leaders are not saying anything is a red flag. But in conclusion, I always want to say I don't believe in taking either side, because, like I said, especially if you're a minority or anything other than white. If you're anything other than, I felt like you're wasting your energy trying to appeal to either side, just because neither side really cares about you. They're just trying to use you in a different way. And at that point, it's just depending on their style of manipulation, I guess. That's that. But that's kind of just the gist of it.
All thing I have to say is, you guys enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comment section down below. You think you're right in our opinions? You think we're wrong? Do you think we need more re-education?
Re-education.
Well, we're open to hear your opinions out there. So, once again, we appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, don't forget the notification bell if you haven't already. If you guys have any recommendations or feedback, let us know on our social media or email down below. And we see you guys in the next video.
Peace.